Here is how to enroll a user in Defguard using an identity provider in the form of an LDAP server or an Active Directory. So I have my Docker instance started here using a Docker Compose configuration file, and I also have additional services in my Compose file, specifically an open LDAP server and a PHP LDAP admin to inspect the contents of LDAP. I have already configured the LDAP server in Defguard's configuration. So if I go to Settings, Identity Providers, and then LDAP and Active Directory, you'll see that I have a basic configuration here. It uses the LDAP server that I have started using the Docker Compose. What is also important is that I configured the integration using a two-way synchronization. So the users will be synchronized both ways, but I have set up the LDAP as the source of truth. Right now I can show you the UI that we'll be using for inspecting the contents of LDAP. And as you can see right now, I only have a single organizational unit and I don't have any users created yet. So let's now try to create some users. So right now I'm in the open LDAP server container and I will execute commands that will create the users for me. So here I have a script that I use for creating the users. This script will create 3 basic users and we'll see if they get synchronized in Defguard. First, let's check if they were created in LDAP using this UI. And as you can see, 3 users got created. So Bob, Charlie, and Dave. Now let's see if the users got synchronized in Defguard. So if we go to Defguard UI and to the users section, you can see that there's my administrator and there are 3 additional users that got synchronized using LDAP. Okay, so we have a bunch of users synchronized in Defguard, but what is left now is how to inform the users that the accounts were created and they can already start using Defguard. I will now present device activation using the first user on the list. So if you click on the action menu next to the user, there's an action called Add New Device. After clicking on it, you are presented with a model window where you can pick the strategy for informing the user. So you can either send the token by email to the user, or you can deliver the token yourself. The easiest way is definitely sending it by email, and that is the strategy that we will try. So if I click Submit, the UI informs me that the enrollment email was sent to the user. So I also started a Mailplate server that will show me all the notification that Defguard sends using SMTP integration. And here's the UI of Mailplate. And what you can see here is that Defguard sent an email. And this email is to the first user from the list, named Bob. As you can see, Defguard is inviting the user to configure his device. So the user can now go to the Defguard client application and either provide the credentials manually, or the user can just click on this button, which will open up the client and configure the instance. So if I click on this button, the enrollment page shows in the browser and the user can click Open Desktop App. Now the browser is asking me if I want to open the application. I will confirm that. And as you can see, the application opened up and I am asked to name the device. I'll just name it Bob's MacBook. And I'll click on Finish. And as you can see, the instance was already added, Defguard demo, and also the user can already see the location that is configured in Defguard. And that is the same location that the administrator created here. We can also go to the users section, and as you can see, user Bob already has the device configured, and the name is exactly the same as the user provided in the desktop client. So right now we can act as a user and we can try to connect to this location. Let's get back to the desktop application and we'll click on connect. And as you can see, the client application is connected. And if we go to the user section, you can see a green dot next to the user's device indicating that the device is currently connected. We can also go to the VPN overview section and you will also see that there is a single user connected at the moment. And that is how you enroll users using LDAP or Active Directory.